हरि ओम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Bhagavad Gita, a conversation with God daily. In this series today, chapter 4, shloka number 10. वीतरागभयक्रोधा मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञानतपसा पूता मद्भावमागताः। Krishna had said to Arjuna, one who knows the truth behind my avatar, my birth and my actions, he attains moksha. He is never born again on this earth. Now he continues regarding that. Vitaraga bhaya krodha, devoid of all desires and all fears and without any anger. When you have no desires, then you have no reason to get angry. So, free from all that. Manmaya, totally absorbed in me. One who is not different from me in any way. One who feels, one who understands that he is Krishna himself. He has become Krishna himself. Such a person. Totally surrendered to me. Mam upashritaha. Totally taken refuge in me. Jnana tapasa, through the penance of wisdom. Wisdom actually burns everything. It's a fire. Wisdom itself is a great tapas. So, through that jnana, they get purified. Those who are totally absorbed in me, they have totally surrendered to me, they know nothing other than Krishna. For them everything is Krishna. And because of that intense devotion, always having thoughts about Krishna, feelings about Krishna, actions regarding Krishna, they become Krishna themselves. And they are purified because of this. When they become Krishna themselves, Aham Brahmasmi, that is the ultimate wisdom. So because of that wisdom, because of having attained that state, they are purified and they attain moksha. Next shloka. Ye yatha mam prapadyante तां तथैव भजाम्यहं मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. Now a question may arise. What is this Krishna? Is this fair? If somebody is totally devoted to you, they take refuge in you, they totally surrender to you, they know nothing other than you. If they are like that, then you will grant them moksha. For others, no, you will not. So, are you being biased? Are you partial, Krishna? Then Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. In whatever way people worship me, I bless them in a similar way. If somebody worships me desiring wealth, then I grant him wealth. If someone worships me in order to get rid of some suffering, he is suffering so much and he wants to be freed from that, so he worships me, then I relieve him of that suffering, I relieve him of that pain. If somebody worships me wanting, desiring wisdom, then I grant them wisdom. And one who is already a jnani, he wants nothing, he worships me because he wants Krishna, he likes Krishna, he loves Krishna, he can't think of anything other than Krishna. So, for a jnani, I grant moksha. Whatever the devotee wants, I give him that. I am not partial. It is based on how the devotee is that I behave. A mirror is there. If we go stand in front of a mirror, it just reflects whatever comes in front of it. If we go stand in front of it beautifully dressed, then it shows us beautifully dressed. If we are going to go stand in front of it with just our hair pulled out, here and there some black marks, everything, then it just shows you like that. Similarly, God just reflects our feelings. Whatever we feel regarding Him, He behaves towards us in the same way. If we feel God doesn't exist at all, why think about God? I will just do my duty, I'll live my life. Why go after Him? Why worship God? If you feel, God will also feel okay. Why should I think about Him? For Him also, that person does not exist. So, ye yatha mam prapadyante. With whatever attitude someone approaches me, I behave towards him with the very same attitude. Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. In all ways, whatever it be, they follow my path. Everything, all different types of paths, all are my very own. I have only laid so many different paths. Kangshantha karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Desiring various results, people worship various deities. In the yaga, they worship Indra, Agni, various deities, desiring various results. Even if we want good marks in the exam, good intelligence, knowledge, then we worship Goddess Saraswati. If we want lots of wealth, Mahalakshmi Kataksham, if we want that, then we worship Mahalakshmi. If we want to do something without any obstacles, then we begin that particular action by worshipping Lord Vinayaka. Like this, for various things, various deities are there and people worship. Kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. And as a result of their actions, whatever they do, whichever deity they worship, they get the results also very quickly in this loka, here on earth. That means there will be some results for your actions which you attain only in the other lokas, which cannot be experienced here in this loka, here on earth. But whatever you desire for here on earth, that you get very quickly when you worship various deities. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaram abhimam vidya kartaram avyayam. Then next he says Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam. There are 4 varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudraha. These 4 varnas were created by me. Guna karma vibhagashaha, based on the gunas, the nature of a person, and based on his actions. Here clearly Bhagavad Gita says on what basis God divided humanity into the 4 classes: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudraha. Guna karma vibhagashaha. They were classified based on their basic nature and based on their actions. A Brahmin means he is Sattva Guna Pradhanaha. Sattva Guna reigns supreme in him. He does only all good actions. And he doesn't possess many desires. He doesn't get angry easily. He is always calm. He is patient. He very calmly bears all type of sufferings. Such a person is a Brahmin, one who possesses all these qualities, one who does penance, one who is ready to deprive his body of all pleasures in order to attain the Brahman, or for the sake of spiritual gain, he is ready to deprive his body of pleasures. Like this, all these qualities, if it exists in some person, then he is a Brahmin. And a Kshatriya is one who has both Sattva Guna and Rajoguna, but Rajoguna is predominant. He has valor. He is so daring, courageous, and he is actually so Tejasvi. Such a person, he can rule over people. Such qualities. We see a person with such qualities is a Kshatriya. Next, Vaishyaha. A Vaishya is one who possesses both Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Rajoguna is predominant in a Vaishya too, but he has a bit of Tamoguna. And he is interested in agriculture, doing business. Such a person is a Vaishya. And a Shudra is one who predominantly has Tamoguna. He is fit for serving others. Tamoguna. Always lazy, not very interested in doing things. He doesn't take any initiative. And his actions, he serves others. One who works under somebody. Such a person is a Shudra. So based on his guna, his nature, basic nature, and based on whatever work or action he is doing, he is classified as a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. These four classes were actually created by me. Tasya kartaram api mam vidhi. Akartharam avyayam. Don't think, oh, God only created all the four varnas and it's his path that all are following. So he has performed so many actions. So he also should experience the karma phala, right? These actions will affect him also. No, don't think like that. In spite of doing all this, Mam Vidya Kartharam Avyayam. I am not the doer of any of these actions. In spite of doing it, I am not the doer. I am changeless. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha iti mam yobhijanati karma bhirna sabadhyate. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha. The actions, they don't get attached to me. They don't affect me in any way because I don't have the ahankara that I am the doer. I did this, I did this, I did this. I don't have that ahankara. So, that actions don't get attached to me. Name karma phale spruha. And I don't have any expectation towards the results also. I don't desire any result from any of my actions. Iti mam yobi janati. So, one who understands this clearly. Oh, Krishna also, he was born as a man. He did so many things. In what way is he different from us? He also did so many things. He did so many karma. Not thinking like that. Yes, Krishna performed so many actions, even more than what we all do. But still, one who understands that none of the actions get attached to me. And I am not the doer of any of the actions. If one understands this properly, then he too is not bound by the actions. Look what a result we get. We have to follow Karma Yoga. We should give up the feeling that I am the doer. And we should not have any desire towards the results. We should do all our actions as an offering to God. All this Karma Yoga we should follow. But if we even just understand that Krishna, who is an ideal example for Karma Yoga, Krishna, in spite of performing so many actions, right from the beginning of creation when he created the 4 Varnas, he is totally free from all karmas. The karmas don't get attached to him. Even if one understands this about Krishna, then he is freed from all karmas. Even then, whatever you do, the karmas won't bind you. With this, we'll stop for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Hare